done us. Is everybody on?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, hello, good evening. Good evening, everybody. I feel like, wow, here we are being broadcast and live and in person. And thank you, everybody, for joining us on Zoom. Hello, it's good to see people that we recognize. So nice to see everybody back. And we are starting today our 4-part series in meditation. And whether you've meditated before, as some have, or are brand new and not looking forward to it, that's okay. We're gonna get you involved. So we're gonna do a quick 45 minutes. And I know that sounds ridiculous to say a quick 45 minutes, but when I first started meditating, which was 9-10 years ago, like I would do 20 minutes, and sometimes it felt like 100 years, but then again, it also felt like at minute 18, I was finally, my brain was done unraveling, and now I can do it, and then the alarm would go off, and I was like, oh, if I only had another 20 minutes to dedicate to it. So it is something that you look forward to it. And it started for me as a crutch. I was going through a personal, crisis and needed something. So I turned to a healthy way and started meditating. I also couldn't sleep, and so I was trying to find a way to sleep, and I found YouTube and found Deepak Chopra, and it was like, all sorts of wonderful things happened. So today we are starting our series, and we're going to talk about mindfulness, which everybody's talking about mindfulness, and mindfulness is everywhere and it's nowhere these days. And really, I like to use a lot the words, and not in replacing mindfulness, but awareness. So simply being aware. And so with this type of meditation, which is basically the original, thousands of years old Buddhist tradition of mindfulness meditation, focusing gently on the breath, but being aware of everything around us. So meditation isn't about stopping thinking. We can never stop thinking. We're sleeping, we're dreaming. We can never stop thinking. Mindfulness and meditation is about practicing and training the brain, much like we exercise the body. We're training the brain to focus on one thing, but not to the exclusion of anything else, but just bringing the focus in gently and maintaining it on one point. We're going to use breath as our point of reference, which can be super easy and super difficult. So meditation really is incredibly simple to do, but incredibly hard to practice. And the practice of meditation is what it's about. It's not a destination you're going to get to. You're not going to find nirvana. You're just not. This isn't going to happen. But it's the journey that is the important thing, and always coming back to that journey. So we're going to have open awareness of everything around us, and it's going to be very much guided. So I'll talk you through a lot of it, through the basics. When we do times of silence, I'm going to interrupt the silence, break the silence with little coaching words and stuff like that to keep us focused in on what we're doing. And then at the end, we can discuss how the experience was, if you have any questions, if you want pointers on developing your meditative practice. I'll use the bowls just as kind of timers and stuff like that, and also points of reference. And sound is another type of meditation that we do, but we're going to do mindfulness for today. And again, we're going to focus in on the breath. And in meditation, people always ask, can I lie down and meditate? And I say, of course you can, but that probably is going to be a nap. So I do recommend sitting up. If you can sit in a comfortable posture on the ground, great. If not, like if your knees don't bend, which mine don't often, but you can sit in any comfortable manner. You can sit on a chair, and for that I would recommend, sitting with your back off of the chair, feet on the ground. And yes, meditation can lead to sleep, and if you fall asleep, then guess what? You needed a nap, and that's great. But one thing in meditation is our posture. We want to have correct posture, and we also want to bring intention. So when you're exercising, when you're training for a marathon, when you're doing anything, You have the intention, I am doing this, and you set yourself up for success. So posture is important because you're meditating. When you're exercising, I'm at the gym, I'm exercising. Today, I am meditating. This 5 minutes or however many minutes is dedicated to meditation. So our posture is important. So we're going to be sitting down, whether you're in a chair, feet on the ground, back off. If your back hurts, get comfortable. If you need a pillow, if you need to lean, do what you have to do. You don't want to be distracted by the pain, but you do want to set the clear intention, I'm here to meditate. So taking your posture would be any way that you are comfortable sitting. And sitting with your back a little bit upright, but not tight. We're not worried about it. We're not trying to pull muscles. We're not trying to hurt ourselves. We're just sitting up. We're not really slumped over like this. We want to have a clear path of energy going up and down the spine. We want to be able to breathe correctly because this is going to be our focal point, is our breath. So we want to be able to breathe. And as we meditate, people say eyes open, eyes closed. You can certainly do eyes closed, and sometimes for beginners, eyes closed is the easiest because it does help to kind of cut out clutter, visual clutter. But also eyes open in a mindfulness practice, eyes open would be just a heavy lid. Eyes barely open, but just kind of looking at a spot on the ground, but not focusing. Let your eyes go blurry. And the benefit of having eyes open in mindfulness is you're aware. You do see what's going on around you. It's almost a metaphor for mindfulness meditation. I see, I am aware, I am focused here, but aware of everything else around me. But you do what's going to work for you. And if you want to try both ways, eyes closed, eyes open, awesome. It's about making meditation accessible to you. We're not going to go to the hilltops of, Nepal and sit in a cave and meditate. That's not happening. Here we are in Connecticut or wherever you are out there in Zoom land. And this is where you're going to practice your meditation. So we're sitting down. We're comfortable, something where we can stay for a while, but also, you know what? If your leg falls asleep, move your leg. Adjust yourself. And then continue on with your practice. So without drama, without worrying about it, or just move. If you have to move and be comfortable, because it's also about awareness of the body. You're aware of your breath, you're aware of the physical sensation of your body. And if your body is telling you to move, move. And then get back to the focus of the breath. And we'll practice that tonight too, meditating through in mindfulness. So we have our posture. Our back is straight. It's upright but not uptight. Our eyes, again, we can have them open, we can have them closed, and that's totally fine. So what we'll do now, I think we'll practice doing some meditation, a little bit of guided, open awareness so that we're aware of everything around us, mindfulness. And then we're going to come to the breath, and then maybe we'll take a break, see how that goes, and then do another session, maybe a few minutes longer, and then you'll realize that 1 minute is not an hour. 1 minute is really just a very small snippet of time, and that you can go 5 minutes, you can go 10 minutes, and you build up through that. So in our comfortable position, we're going to begin. You can put your hands on knees. You can cup them into your lap, however is comfortable for you. We're not going to worry about mudras. We're not going to be doing any, but if that resonates with you, please do it. If this is something that you do in a regular practice and it resonates with you and it helps you to focus, then absolutely 100% do a mudra with the hands, with the fingers, and that's totally fine. Absolutely 100%. So we're in our position, either with your eyes open and looking down at the ground, just the eyes, or with the eyes completely shut. It does not matter, whatever works for you. And we're going to begin by breathing. We're going to inhale very slowly to a count of 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold that breath. And now releasing 1, 2, 3, 4, and a gentle pause. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold the breath. And now releasing 4, 3, 2, 1. Gentle pause. Bringing it in again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath. Releasing 4, 3, 2, 1. Now allowing the breath to return to normal. Releasing any control over the breath. And now centering in and focusing in on the body, being mindful of our body. And as you're just loosely aware of the rise and fall of your chest, bring your full attention to the very top of your head and notice any sensations on the scalp. Now very slowly draw your awareness down the forehead to your eyes, relaxing the tiny muscles around the eyes, moving down to the jaw, unclenching the teeth, letting your jaw hang, and being aware of the back of the head, the neck, throat, being aware of your shoulders, dropping the shoulders, letting the arms hang by your sides, being aware of the upper arms. Move your attention down the arms to the elbows, being aware of your forearms, all the way down to the wrists, being aware of the palms of your hands and your fingertips, coming up to your upper back, being aware of your shoulder blades. Now drawing your attention all the way down the spine, moving past the ribs, to the waist, to your hips, being aware of the buttocks, your thigh muscles, moving down to the knees, being aware of your calf muscles, your shins, all the way down to the ankles, being aware of the soles of the feet and your toes. Now bringing the awareness to your chest, and see if you can detect the rise and fall of the chest with each breath. And if it helps, you can put your hand to the chest to just feel that really subtle change. The chest rising and falling with each breath. Now being fully aware of the body, the stillness of your body, seated on the cushion, on the floor, on the chair. Feeling the weight of your body supported. Being aware of every point of contact that your body has with the ground, with the chair. Feel yourself grounded and connected. Being aware of the body as a whole. Still in this room right now. And now being aware of the temperature of the room that you're in. Does it feel cool or warm? Do you feel any air movement on your skin? And now moving the awareness to the sounds around you. To the furthest sound that you can hear outside of the room. And now moving gently to another sound. And a sound closer into your room. Gently being aware of every noise that you can hear. And now see if you can hear the sound of your own breath. Can you hear the sound of the air going in and out of your nostrils? And focusing in on the body, can you feel your heartbeat? And now moving back to the breath, and whether it's easier for you to focus on a breath with your hand on your chest, and go right ahead. We're going to find the breath now. We're going to be using our point of focus as our breath. So we need to determine that point which is easiest for you to focus in on the breath. So perhaps you can focus in best on the breath by being aware of your nose and feeling the air or hearing the air going in and out of the nostrils. Or perhaps it's easiest for you to focus in on a breath by feeling your body move, feeling the chest rise and fall or your abdomen expand and contract. Or perhaps visualizing a breath going in the nose, hitting the back of the throat, going into the chest, filling the lungs, and then the air coming back up out through the body. So wherever it is that it's easiest for you to focus in on the breath, that's where you'll use your focal point. So just take a moment and see if you can hear and feel the breath. Feel the movement in the body, or visualizing air in and out works best for you. Let's take a moment and locate your breath, however it's easiest for you to follow the flow in and out. And being mindful of the body, if any adjustments need to be made. Being comfortable so that we can sit. And that's what you do. And now we'll begin just a few moments of focused breathing. And I'll ring the bell at the beginning and at the end. And we'll see how we do. So again, pick your focal point, following the breath in and out. If you become distracted by thought or sound, acknowledge it. And then just come right back and start over with that breath again. And we'll begin now for just a few moments. Finding your inhale and follow it all the way through to the exhale. Acknowledge the distractions. Let them float on by and come right back to the breath again. Find the inhale and follow all the way through to the exhale. Releasing the breath, the awareness of the breath. And that was 3 minutes. Paying attention to our breath, and hopefully it didn't feel like 3 hours. So mindfulness in doing a meditative practice, beginning a practice, finding your seat, finding a place where you can do it. If you can have a dedicated little corner of a room, with the end of a bed, or by a desk, or under a table, anywhere that you can go to make space for yourself is beneficial. Ritual is a wonderful thing, not that this is a religious Buddhist thing or anything, but ritual helps habit forming. It absolutely does. So whether you wear certain clothes, you have pillows, you have bowls, you have candles, you light incense, you have a special cushion or a blanket you wrap around yourself, it doesn't matter. Ritual will help you develop the habit of sitting still for any amount of time. Using a timer, fantastic. You set it and then you put it away where you can't see it, put it behind you, and you just follow your breath, doing a gentle body scan and anchoring into where you are. With mindfulness, it's wonderful to use the body. The body is always in now. It's not in the past, it's not in the future. The body is always right here, and it is the quickest, easiest way to come to this moment is to come to the body. And in our mindfulness practice on the breath is in the body and focusing in on it. And how many thousands of breaths do we take a day that we are so completely unaware of? So if we can focus in, and putting the hand, when I began practice, seriously, hand on the chest or on the abdomen was key for me to focus in on it. And then I realized that hearing the breath and focusing in on just the nose was easier because I was getting a little anxious, paying attention to my breath. Is it deep enough? Is it this? It doesn't have to be any way. It doesn't have to be a controlled breath unless that helps you. It can just be your natural breathing. And sometimes just being aware of the hand. Other times I have to visualize the breath is going in and it's coming out because my mind has to be there. So now as we were sitting for our massive amounts of 3 minutes, the mind is going. Where we are here, hear traffic. Maybe you hear traffic at home, or you hear people or someone's television or the heat coming on. That's fine. You acknowledge it. That's what mindfulness is. I feel my body, I feel the temperature of the room, I feel the pain, so I better move my leg. I'm back in my breath, I'm in my body, I hear what's around me, I feel what's around me. My shopping list just popped into my head. That's fine. I acknowledge it, I let it go, and I come right back again. So the repetition of coming back, that is the practice, and that is mindfulness. And in mindfulness meditation, we're trying to cultivate the awareness that you're distracted. You know, my mind has gone off. I've sat in meditation for a half an hour and not for a second stopped thinking, and didn't even realize I was thinking until my alarm went off, and I thought I just spent 30 minutes unraveling my brain. But that's okay, because sometimes just having physical stillness is super powerful. Sitting still in the middle of a tornado running in your head is powerful because you are sitting still. And we hear so many people say, just sit with it. I have to sit with the pain. I have to sit with the anxiety. I have to sit with the whatever you're dealing with. And that's it. Sit with the monkey mind, going round and round, constantly nonstop. Sit still and let your mind go. And if you can't come back to the breath, you're trying. That's the practice. And sometimes you're going to get off the cushion, off your chair, off your bed, and you're going to feel great because you meditated. And sometimes you're going to feel awful because you meditated. It's almost like therapy. I had a teacher once that said that meditation is learning to make friends with yourself. Because as you develop your practice, you're going to realize, I keep having that same thought come up in my head. Why do I keep having that same weird thought? And this is after the thoughts of shopping lists and everything you have to do is done. That little nagging voice of something that's bugging you, that's going to keep coming up. And that is what we're looking for. We're looking for awareness. And that's where meditation can be therapeutic, because in the silence or the stillness, that's when answers come to you. And sometimes the answers come as questions, but that's fine. Stuff bubbles up. And sometimes you'll notice you get itchy, or something is, bothering you can't get. That's something. That's a little energy. That's something bubbling up into you. So that's something to be on the lookout for as well. So we're going to try again a little more meditating, but if you need to stretch, please do. Move the legs or the neck, or readjust. If you find you're in pain sitting up and you need to lean back, lean back. Do whatever you have to do so that you're not distracted by pain in the body. Sometimes you can't help it. And sometimes we have clients that we work with the pain. We focus in on a pain in the knee, and you just think about it and you focus in on it. And it's not going to make that pain go away, but you are going to see that pain differently because you're mindful of it, you're aware of it. So, again, any questions before we get started again on technique or... Okay. And we'll do it for a few more minutes as we develop just a few more minutes, longer and longer. And you do find that you want to sit longer because it does take a while for the brain to unravel. So we'll get in our posture again of whatever is comfortable, and I've adjusted because I have a terrible knee, so however it works for anybody. And again, if perhaps you had your eyes open this time, maybe try it closed, or vice versa. If you had it closed, try open. And if you are going to open, just a few feet in front of you, calm, gentle gaze. See everything around you. But we're not looking at it. We're not looking for the speck of dust on the carpet or anything. We're just loosely aware, loosely aware.
I have a question. If you're doing eyes open, because I don't usually do it, I usually do eyes closed. If you're doing eyes open, there's a tendency to
drop the head.
But I don't.
So what it is, again, the upright spine, and even a tiny tuck of the chin to bring it back to keep the head in. But we're not worried about tight muscles. So yes, we're not looking down at the ground. We want to kind of keep a level chin, and it's the eyes that are doing the movement. Because you'll find, in the day and age of texting and all of this, we have, phone neck, and that's painful. So yes, thank you, Diane. We don't want to drop the head down to the chest. We do want it to be up, but the eyes are loosely down. Very loosely down. We don't want to add any more pain in the neck from, obsessive texting. So, getting in our comfortable position. A little bit of an upright back, but not tight. And then we'll begin, and I'll mind the time. Taking a slow, deep breath in. And a slow release out. And eyes open or closed. And settling in. And find your breath. Find the breath and ride the wave in and out. In and out. Being aware of the body. Being aware of the room that you're in. And coming back to the breath. Acknowledge the distraction. And as though you're attaching it to a cloud, let it float by. And start right over with a fresh breath. back to the breath. Starting over as many times as you need to. Gently return your focus back to the breath. Gently, with kindness to yourself, start over. Find your inhale. Follow it all the way through to the exhale. Aware of the body. Aware of the space. Without ignoring thought. Without attaching to any distraction. Gently come back. Come back to the breath. Feel the breath in the body. The breath is your anchor. Bringing your attention to the back, right to the top of the head. Drawing your awareness down again, your forehead, your eyes, the back of your head, feeling your cheeks, your jaw, your neck, shoulders, down your arms, all the way to the fingertips. Bringing your awareness down your spine, feeling your waist, hips, your legs, way down to the ankles, soles of your feet and toes. Feeling the gentle rise and fall of your chest. Feeling the cool air going in your nostrils. Feeling the warm air on the top of your lip. Being the air going in the body and back out the body. Feeling the gentle rise of your shoulders as you inhale. And releasing the awareness of the breath. And slowly opening your eyes. And that was about 6 minutes. And so that was a little bit different. And so that's a little bit of beginning of mindfulness meditation, focusing in on the breath as the most basic focal point, and realizing that mindfulness is being aware of eating, walking, driving, talking to people. Knitting can be meditation. Drawing in a coloring book can be meditation. Anything that brings the mind to a point, and of course focusing in on the breath and the body, is a wonderful, simple way of mindfulness meditation, because the body is always here. The breath is always with us. And I'm realizing that all the distractions around you are just clouds on a bright blue sky. It's just sound, it's just noise. And that you can come back and focus in on the breath and the body without trying to block anything out. Fully aware of it, but not engaging with it. Touching it gently with awareness, but not grabbing it and going down the rabbit hole with it. Acknowledge it. Let it go. Unpack that later and come right back to the breath. So well done, everybody, for doing
Thank
a little
you.
bit of mindfulness meditation. If you have any questions, please let me know. Anybody in Zoom land, type it up or email it to us. If anybody has any questions,
It was nice to do it with a live person. I do it on an app a lot, but it was nice to do it with a live person.
It
It's
is.
really a different experience.
it is different. And thank you so much. Your internet connection, I guess it's gone.
Did you lose it?
Did we lose someone?
No. Or did maybe they shut it down?
Yeah.
It looks like we're good.
So thank you so much for joining, and hope to see you next week at our next meditation series of 4. Yay! We're doing
Next week is
Mantra meditation.
mantra meditation. Mantra meditation, which will be lovely, wonderful, and maybe easier than focusing in on the breath. So hope to see everybody next week, and thank you so much for joining us. So
Thank
stay,
you.
stay safe, stay grounded. Namaste to everyone.
Namaste.
So should we sign up for that online?
Yeah.
Again?
Sign up for it online. Now let's do some breathing.